Hello, and welcome to this next session of The Veil, which I'm calling The Veil Iterations, which is a modification, a hack of an existing rule set called The Veil, which is a PbtA game written by Fraser Simons. If you're interested in that, I highly recommend it. It's available on drive-through. I think you can get physical copies via IPR. My version takes some of the key elements, builds up some of the playbooks, makes some of their changes, mostly to fit with how I like to run and the points that have when I've run it before, even though I really love it, that I've kind of gotten stuck in, been working on those. So this is a play test of that. We are on session 4. We are taking up today. We have some plates spinning, as it were, from last time. We have a mysterious figure named Dokuchi that has to be tracked down. We have a singer by the name of Ayal Darakos, who needs to have her career crushed. And we have some people who might have been involved in the destruction of that lab building that Marley went after with problematic results. I think to say the least on that. And to kind of look quickly at our wishes. We'd like to see some more inner conflict roles. Would like to also see about calling people in. We had some talk about sort of character play ethics and how they look, and giving Gabriel a chance to kind of show the multiple dimensions of his character, opportunity to know other players. Looking into some of the NPCs, again, another person, curious to see how Gabriel deals with the contract. Want to pull back in some of the threads, see what we can do about the entanglements, and get it dragged into everything. I think that's Sherry's wish on the list, I believe, is that. In any case, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We do a open gaming weekend. The next one, assuming we can get enough people to run, is going to be at the end of September. So please consider taking a look at that. And if you're interested in what we do here, come and play a session with us. So let's check in on any start of session moves. I think, Gabriel, right now you're in the midst of resolving what would often be your start of session. Does anyone else have a start of session move that we need to trigger? I just want to check in. No? Okay. Then let us start. Marley, where did we leave off with you last time? Had you contacted the group after that incident?
I believe I was like slugging toward the wherever the hell I was going. From wherever I had ended up, by like transporting myself through the veil.
Yeah, a ways away, mud covered, sodden, and with 3 levels of harm on there.
Went bad in a hurry.
Yeah, which to take care of that sort of level 3 harm is going to require, taking some time or going and spending a cred to get a little bit of medical. And once you've cleared that, then the other 2 will clear. But right now you're in pretty bad shape. So who you call? Yes, Heller.
No, I was just saying, call me.
Yeah, like
I think that's who I would call. Yeah.
Heller, where are you when Marley calls?
So I think I'm probably like just saying bye to Riddle after I've told him, hey, and don't worry, it turns out that I think even if this Dokuchi guy won't fix the place, I can figure out some pretty good scrap to get out of it. But anyway, call me when you decide to go. I really want to meet this guy, okay? And then I get the call. So,
we haven't discussed this. What do you think the comps look like? Are we like wrist phones? Does it pop up? Do we have standard phones? Is there a different gradations depending on your income? What do we see of Heller's like comm device?
so I think that Heller has a comm device he keeps actually separate from his like body stuff, merely because what he's got going on is so weird, and the comms like start changing, and he doesn't want like anything coming over the comms affecting what's going on with his stuff. Like
That makes
it's
sense.
kind of vice versa. So he's one of those people that actually has an external comms. He can have other comms in his thing, but he knows he has to like pull the thing out every week and put a new one in.
Is it like a phone with a video screen, or does it project a hologram, or what do we see?
I think that it is one of those, like 6 years ago, it's really cool to have some like faux antique stuff. And so it looks like an old BlackBerry. Okay, so it's like made with that kind of, nice industrial thing that the mid Blackberries had, where they had a really good steel feel and everything like that, and the black and kind of nice form factor. But yeah, it does, because so many of the messaging things are like 3D and have the little pop-up and stuff. It does have the little screen that pops up out of the screen. But that's what it looks like, is a big chunky BlackBerry from, the mid-90s, I guess.
So I imagine it takes you a second to actually recognize Marley.
I have
Given
to tip it a few times.
yeah, that we've talked about the red and the fungus and stuff like that, and I imagine that's mixed in, so it's very much red clay kind of look to what is coating them. Marley, what do you say when Heller pops up?
Hey, Heller, something really weird just happened. I got shot. That wasn't the weird. That was pretty normal, but
Whoa.
help.
Okay, you stand right where you are, all right? That isn't like blood mixed in with something, is it?
There's blood, but most of it's mud and algae and.
Okay, that sounds super unsanitary. I'm on my way.
Oh God, you're right. That it is. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, and I think what you'll see is kind of, he does the location thing. It brings up the sort of map, and he just kind of catches one of those overhead trams in like, you could kind of see him moving through the city in that very physical, from one thing to another until it gets to where Marley is.
And where are you, Marley? Like you moved somewhere else after the whole mud and depth. Like you're a ways away from that building in another place. What, now that you kind of like survey your landscape, what do you think is around you here?
I think I landed outside like the levees that prevent flooding in whatever part of the city I'm in or was in. And I think I'm like coming back through that, which probably I don't want anybody to see me, because like I'm probably not supposed to be here. And so I'm like climbing up on a bank, trying to stay low. It's slow and it's miserable, and I'm already slippery with mud and blood, and yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I think you see silhouetted behind you, sort of towards the ground. We see those huge industrial, like giant core of engineer style trucks and dozers and things like that. And you're kind of moving along here. You can get a little bit of water to kind of clear your face away. before you find like an access point that leads to an area that like during the day would probably be where workers would go and get their lunch and stuff. There's pop-up stores and barracks and things like that. And I think that's where Heller is going to find you. I'm going to come back to you two with that meetup scene. Now, I believe that Gabriel kind of gave Riddle a job, a thing to do. And why don't you again refresh our memory on the exact parameters? It's something about, I believe, setting up and falsifying some records and things.
Yeah, I've called Riddle into my office, and I have been going through some of my artists, songwriters, and finding a couple of candidates that look like they write in a similar enough style to my target that I need Riddle to go back and have a digital timestamp, a way of making some songs that my target has made successful have been written by someone else in my stable before she put them out. I'm basically trying to Milli Vanilli her.
Okay. And so, Riddle, you are the architect. This means getting into the deep veil and making some changes, right?
Yeah. I imagine there's some like future version of Billboard or whatever that I can a central database that like tracks entertainment stats or something.
Yeah, that and probably the whatever the music union and songwriters union, those kinds of things, all that link up from there.
Yeah, we have our like guild corporation setups. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's probably a records guild that you have to literally and figuratively records. So this feels like reconfigure is the way to handle that. Does that seem right?
Yeah. If I'm just wondering if that sort of thing is like accessible or if I would have to do something to get in.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's do that as a kind of risk here.
Okay.
To get in, to get the access that you need to be able to make these changes, to get into that space.
So I think,
and I'm going to ask you here before. I think you're probably about to answer this one, but like, what is that going to look like when you do that kind of
Yeah.
intrusion?
So I think this is going to be. I don't think this is Riddle traveling physically to that place.
Right.
So I think this is going to be like our first full deep dive into the Digiscape sort of feel. And Riddle, I mean, honestly, looks very similar in the Digiscape. He's already like animated up most of the time. But what he does is he goes back to where he lives, which I guess we haven't been there, but whatever. He has like a central computer core in there for high process, heavy things. And as he goes up to the side of it, he touches it, and again we see like his suit sort of go transparent and pull back from his skin as he's connecting in and rushes into this like all light and 3D world. But he travels, he navigates along it again by touch, like there are lines and pipelines of light and information that he feels, and he can just like sense the sound and color and the sort of synesthetic touch
Mhm.
of this information as he travels along.
Let's have you roll risk. What do you want to roll that with?
Some sort of like sort of conflicted about this
Sure.
contract.
Yeah.
Gabriel didn't give me a lot of information or really any justification. Just do it, and I have a big enough ask that I wanted payment that I'm willing to go forward with it. But I think this is in the a little bit guilty ashamed, so I'm gonna go with sad.
Okay.
Let's see, I am okay at sad.
A lot of people on the Gauntlet are.
Yeah. Let's see, that is an 8.
That is an 8. So I think that you can get in, but I think that this takes longer than you'd like it to. Like, your hesitation kind of doubles down. And the cost is, I want you to mark another box of sad.
That pushes me very far up then.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah. I was sort of analyzing it to see whether this would be enough to push him off, but I don't think that is. But he is getting real frustrated, and I think I'm going to have some questions for Gabriel.
Yeah. So the guild itself, they deliberately try to obfuscate what it looks like when you get into the Digiscape. There's probably a public sort of outside that you get to, but you want to get to the data heart, and it's that kind of, you have to form the image of it. So when we actually see you going in, how do you visualize this block to get into?
So I think all of this musical information is stored in very like sound waves, digital representation.
Yeah.
So there's just
It has to get compared against YouTube videos. So yeah.
So I think inside of the core itself is just like this grid work of all of these strings strung in every direction, and they're each like vibrating in a different sound wave sort of sonic fingerprint for each bit of the record architecture in here.
Yeah. Now, here's where you're going to reconfigure. What do you want to use to reconfigure?
Changes. So prior move to balance that out. I'm not exactly sure.
You need to make a change here. So you to the environment. So you need to like remove something conceptually. Do you delete another singer's catalog to balance it, or something else? Like what
maybe some
goes
part
away?
of their like security structure that I move through to get in here, so that I like leave an open gate behind me that other people might come in and mess around with some of these records as well.
Yeah, there's a real chance of it. The cost here is really looking like exposure is probably, a cost. But this is your element. So what do you want to roll that with?
I think power is good for this here in the heart of the Digiscape.
Absolutely. I think that's
Moving
a
things around.
really good idea to push 2 of your stats up close to spiking.
So good. Everything's great now.
Now, I can't see any downside to this for me, the GM, at all.
That is a wow. Um, that's 2 1s, which if I double with my +2 to get all the way to a 4.
So I think that you do that thing where you modify the security and you've moved in, and I think that you are finding what you want, and that is the point at which the trap snaps closed and all of the strings start to vibrate, and there is that sudden feedback as you realize that the security that they had set up was a dummy, was an echo, and the real black ice comes down the pipeline at you. And you're going to take 2 harm AP.
Ow.
And
Well,
we'll
now I
come,
feel glad that I don't have any armor.
yeah, and we will come back to you in a bit. Okay. So, Gabriel, you've given Riddle this assignment. Riddle is headed off to take care of this problem professionally and easily. What are you up to?
I am going to begin doing the other end of the groundwork, I suppose, for this, which is to begin laying out rumors that my target has been plagiarizing for years.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of relying a little on my influence out there to get that into the right ears so that people will begin looking into this soon.
Yeah, this feels like we're kind of globally doing a kind of sway. Does that seem fair?
Seems fair.
Like we're reading the NPC as the public here in a kind of a broad sense. And you wanna lay that out. Is there anything you want to do to beforehand? Do you have a contact you want to call on or anything like that? I didn't know if you'd already have an existing NPC that you would want to do, or if you just want to move ahead.
Let's just move. Yeah, I think it's probably more move ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's any one person in particular. This is more like just whisper campaign across several folks.
Sure. What do you want to roll that with?
I think I'm kind of pissed off that I'm having to do this, and that this artist who is perfectly capable of making money for us and is a good artist is being screwed. So I think I'm going to use bad.
Okay.
All right. This roller is sucking. That's a 5.
That is a 5. So I think that you will start doing this, and you actually hit against another mimetic campaign that has been put out like right around this time. And what you will see is that clearly Il Daracos has gone public and has come out, clearly has a mimetic publicity consultant, and has revealed that she was approached by an unnamed recording entertainment executive that had gained the back catalog for the famed singer Onyx Whale, and who died very young, but had a really strong catalog. He had gained that, and he had run an algorithm and found that if he could get A.L. Darikos to re-record this and release this, like that would have the greatest pull and would have the greatest money, and came to her and kind of demanded that she do that, kind of cajoled and pushed on this, but she didn't want to dishonor the memory of one of her favorite singers by re-recording this without it being from her own heart.
Gotcha.
And you can see the Q ratings for Darikos are popping up.
Oh, they had done screwed the pooch before they gave this to me. Lovely.
Yeah, doesn't look good. You're in a difficult spot now. Luckily, you didn't get too much out there with your fingerprints on it before this came out, but it still makes your job doubly difficult.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me come back to Heller. You dismount in a real back and beyond down by South Red Central Levy 8, and kind of
I'll send my drone out to look for any good scrapping stuff. I never have been here, so, and I'll kind of
Okay.
keep on honing in on Marley's.
hey, if you want to trigger a move while you're trying to help your friend, I am all over that, because the
No,
roller
I think
is
it's-
the roller is
roller
on my
is-
side.
Yeah, the roller is on your side. No,
So,
no.
Heller,
I'm
go
just
ahead
doing
and,
that for color. So
oh, you sure you
Fine.
don't want to roll? Look, you get all the delicious scrap you could get.
no, it would be awesome. But I gotta first get my pal Marley out of this situation. They're
Okay.
covered in mud.
So rather than, this is a delicious place. You see all the industrial stuff, but you set that aside, you turn away from that. And
Well, because Marley's actually bleeding. It's not like Riddle.
Yeah.
He's just upset.
Yeah.
So yeah.
so I imagine you find Marley. What are you in a diner? Are you in a bus stop? Are you in like a phone kiosk? Where does Heller find you, Marley?
I'm sitting. I think I'm sitting on like the steps in back of one of those little places where the workers go for lunch.
I think
There's a
come
little
up-
bit of awning, and there are several vats of reclaimed cooking oil back here. So the smell
Yeah.
is something
But
else.
there's shade and nobody's gonna bother me.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna kick me out, So
Yeah, I think when Heller comes around the corner, like to find it, he goes, so was there an alligator involved?
no,
Oh,
I didn't see one. I didn't.
what happened?
No, they shot me.
I still, all right. So it really is surprisingly not that far from a remote clinic. I
That's
think
good.
we'll have to rent it. I have an AI friend, maybe can help get you patched up. So it's really just the cost of the clinic. Right, the remote, okay?
Well, luckily we just got paid, so
Maybe you should buy yourself a shower too.
yeah.
Okay, maybe before. Yeah, I mean, are you still
is-
actively bleeding?
I can't tell under all the mud.
Yeah, let's get you rinsed off.
So I imagine it's not that long a walk over to a kind of a street clinic that covers it's a combination of pharmacy and street clinic, and it does treatments for cyber rejection and all of that kind of stuff, and it's also kind of a hostel there. And for one cred, Marley, you can get a sonic shower, get cleaned up, and there will be a very jaded street medic who will patch you up in the most cursory way possible. Essentially has one of those injectors. When he finds the bullet wound, he has this magnet that pops that out quickly, and then he puts this like foam boring wound compressor just in there that binds with your flesh, and it hurts like really bad, but you say something and he goes, "That's how you know it's working."
Yeah. Yep.
And then takes your cred, ting, you drop it on the little comm thing there, and you can get cleaned up, and there's a complimentary cup of coffee or bottle of water you can have as well.
I like grab the bottle of water, and leave quickly before, I don't know, they can charge me any more money. And or do anything else extremely painful to me.
Yeah, so you may clear your wounds.
Excellent. Where did I put the wounds? I put them somewhere. Oh, harm. There we go. Harm.
Also, if you have marked any of your cybernetics from use last time, those reset at the beginning of session. So where do you two go? Like, you probably have to have a conversation now. Are you sitting outside? Or do you go to a diner? Do you go to somebody's place? What do you think?
Let's see here. I think that, like everywhere that you go, there's like, it's a fast food restaurant of a sort, but it's like standard, it's always there, and everything always tastes the same. And when you're not feeling well, it's like the safest thing to get. So I'll probably try to hustle Marley over there so that we can have the cod sandwich. No one knows what cod is really anymore, but
it's probably alligator.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that idea. Really?
It's cod with a K.
Oh.
So everything is slightly misspelt there. And again, those places where you go in where everything is plastic and chrome and kept clean, and the fluorescents are super bright. There's that little buzz at the back of your thing. You go in, you order, you get the most basic meal. You get the cod sandwich, you get the Mexican pizza. It's all classy, and you can sit down there. It is free Wi-Fi and unlimited refills on beverages. So.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, I've probably
Perfect.
spent a lot of time in places like this.
Yeah, it's great because there's like no flavor whatsoever. So
Right, yeah.
that to Heller, that's clearly a selling point. So
Subway, eat cod. Nice.
all right.
So how much of the story Marley, are you giving to Heller about like where you got this lead from and about what you did and so on?
Okay, yeah. Heller and Aura are two opposing people that I know, so I probably don't talk much about either of them to the other. But I think I'll tell the rest of the story. I just won't say the name of the person who gave me this information.
You're muted, Sherry.
I wonder who'd be interested in that. Probably some of the corps. Or do they know? I mean, it sounds like they're really trying to hide out.
Yeah, I didn't expect, I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't expect any major corp to have a little place like that, and let alone someone standing on the roof with a gun.
That seems a little not corp. But who does it seem like, Lo? We got a little bit of smarts between the two of us.
So that feels to me like you are trying to, let's take a look at the moves again. Like you're trying to lift the veil because this is indirect. Okay.
Let's see here. I'm probably a little excited. I don't know what that falls under. That be under
Joy is.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a 0. And with these dice, it's certain to go well, right?
Sure, it'll be fine.
Great. I just gotta find the link. Lines and veils. There it is. Okay.
Hey, by the way, those of you who have failed, don't forget to get to mark XP.
Yeah, it's like a bargain. Okay. And I'm rolling 2d6 and adding nothing to it. I got a 9. I don't see what problem
Hey.
you having.
Best roll of the evening so far.
Exactly. Woohoo, it's a high.
So,
Mediocre.
like, one of the things you're wondering about stuff, given what they did, the attack on the building, this site that they're in now, it feels very like a kind of desperate. And it's very clear that they knew stuff. You wonder if this isn't some group of disgruntled ex-employees or ex-employees with an agenda about trying to erase stuff, because it doesn't feel like organized corp. It definitely feels like a splinter group that maybe want to cover something up or maybe want to put a stop to something. That's the like the feeling that you're getting. Does that seem like a fair answer?
It does. I posit this to Marley. I'm like, I don't know, what do you want to do about it?
No, that makes sense. That makes sense if it's. I wonder if they want to destroy that place. I mean, I wonder if they knew about the robot people, corpse robots.
Yeah, if they were employees, they might have been the people who made them.
Yeah. And they wanted to blow them up. Wonder why.
Did the flooding prevent them, or did they do the flooding to stop it?
The flooding
Oh.
was done by opposing corporate interests. You know that.
Really? Okay. So these are the guys who like got flooded out of the situation. So maybe they're trying to keep people from learning about it, but we did get in. And they aren't chasing us per se yet. Maybe it's because we were so subtle.
I mean, I don't know that they know who we were. I don't think they got a good look at us, but
I mean, you were covered in mud, clearly. So,
well, this time I don't think they got a good look at me either. I think I didn't get very close.
No.
But so you saw, what was down there. That place was weird as hell, and those people were weird as hell.
they were like,
They're not actually, I guess this is a question. Have I seen anything like them anywhere else?
I'm going to say no. Like, I think we
Okay.
kind of established like this was unique. This was something you've never seen before.
Okay.
so the biomaterial wasn't like a body. It wasn't a corpse. It was just a set of nerve endings and some muscle tissue. It wasn't particularly, but it was kind of controlled by whatever was in those brains,
The cyber brain, yeah.
cyber brain. So I do think it was a home for something like an AI. But why?
Oh.
Because all they were doing were having conversations, weren't they?
They were
Like still up there.
like under the impression that they were at a party. At least the one I spoke to was very strange. What they were seeing through the veil, I mean, they showed me it. They were at a party.
So either there were AIs or there was someone's consciousness that was somehow up, like stored up there. And was the bio stuff like, I don't know, so they had that basic sense of a body? It doesn't make sense for the one that attacked us though.
No, I don't. This seems more like Riddle's specialty.
It does.
This
That
Although-
feels like a good place for me to cut to Riddle. Riddle, you're in this world of piano wire, where they might have been gentle and like lulling and stuff. Everything is taut and garrote now. Now you did specifically say that you were keeping a back door way out, so you could get out of Dodge, or you could try to fight this security.
I mean, I could get out of Dodge, but this is like basic bitch first wave black ice, and if I ran from that, would I really be an architect?
So this feels like neutralize.
Actually, what I'd like to do is, so I'm pulling on my cyberware, my backup simulation, where I
Okay.
have my little limited veil, as I want to wrap it around me and disappear behind a shimmering encryption lock.
Okay.
And as they swarm in to try and break through the encryption, which honestly won't take them that long, it's not super complicated. Riddle is going to reappear behind them
Mhm.
and try and pull the ripcord coding on their connection to their server, and I want to try and use the kick.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Let's take a look at that. Because we haven't seen that yet.
So when you forcefully eject someone or something from a digital environment. roll.
Okay. Yeah. That feels like that is exactly what this is about. You've marked your cyber gear to give yourself a +1 forward. What do you want to roll with?
I think I'm mad. This weird job that I
Okay.
already wasn't happy about now has a double fake in it.
Yeah.
This is just insulting.
So roll with a +1.
Do a thing. It's an 8.
That is an 8. Let's look at the kick here. Moves.
So 7 to 9, choose one, and I'm definitely going to spend an inspiration or imagination to pick an extra.
I'll say to affect a small
all
group,
the negatives.
if you say
Oh.
a small group, that will take care of all the security.
Yeah, that's definitely the first one. It's a little bit unnecessary, but I did roll with mad, so I'm going to, whatever it means to deal identity harm to a black ice system, I'm doing that.
Yeah, I think you are hitting it with some language and consciousness viruses that will force it to reconfigure, so they're not going to be able to get it online for a bit. Go ahead and mark 1 harm.
Yep.
And I think that you hear shoddily done. fell for it. So of that voice at your shoulder, as you can feel your subconscious kind of pushing up against you, and the veil around you now is kind of rolling and swirling, like it's reacting to you kicking something out of it, and it's a chaotic sea now. You want to try again?
Yeah, I was gonna say I do want to try and finish it out, messy though it may be, before I run.
Okay. I think that the unless you get a 10 plus, the cost is definitively going to be that people will be alerted that something has happened. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Do you want to mark one of your cybernetics to give yourself a bonus?
Yeah. I have
Okay.
my cyber eyes that have the multi-spectrum view, and especially with everything going full chaotic in here, there's very particular frequencies that I want to find and pick out before everything goes crazy.
What do you want to roll with?
Is this a risk situation or
This is a
reconfigure situation?
This is a reconfigure situation.
Okay. Then it probably just makes sense to go ahead and hit power.
Okay. So you spike power.
This is all going wrong, but I am not going to be taken down by this.
You're going to spike power, but you're going to be rolling with a +3 now. There's almost no chance.
I'm rolling before you can finish that sentence. I got a 9. I'm aggressively mid this session.
Is there any way for me to help?
I don't think so. I think this is very much Riddle's environment. There are some moves that allow people to help at a distance, which is another reason why I want to do that. So what we know what you're taking out. Like, I think we could tie that into you kind of stripping the security out. I think the change is going to be noticed.
That's yeah, you'd said unless it's 10 plus, so definitely the change is going to be noticed. But I am going to lock down on my subconscious and get out of here before the feedback wave hits.
Okay. What is it like how do we know that you've taken 3 harm worth of damage when you come back out? Like you're an architect. To do what you do, you have to physically go in there, and when you come back out, there's got to be something that we see that tells us how bad it was for you.
Yeah, it's that I don't have the processing power to keep up my slick overlay like I normally do. So there's like large holes in the GIFware, and it's looping and glitching oddly to where you can see like the dull black immersion suit underneath.
Yeah, and you feel like shit. The part of the BIOS, we can see that your biostats are way out of whack. Your essential salts or whatever, to do absolutely this dumbest possible cyber talk, like are down. You need to replenish those. And that's going to cost some money to get your system.
Yeah, my suit HUD just has all these like check engine alert flashes going off that I can't close all the way.
Absolutely. But you have done the job. We're going to take our first break here, and we're going to come back. We're going to start with Gabriel, and with Gabriel being told that the job was done, you can just, and we'll actually have Riddle describe how you're selling the job that you did, and then we'll go with Gabriel's move. Sound good? Okay. So take 10 for the first. Riddle.
Hey, hi.
What do you tell Gabriel?
Look, the job's done, but what the hell was that?
It's a simple data adjustment, wasn't it? What do you mean?
There's nothing simple about it. There was layered traps and deceptions going on. Someone else set up something waiting for your agent to slip in there.
Are you sure?
I'm sure that I've been into that data core and others like it over and over again. Don't normally find swarms of black ice appearing from behind illusionary data walls.
This should have been very simple, Riddle. I mean, I sent you to alter people who have thus far not been terribly successful.
Now, I got the data file switch, or the database switched, and he'll send over a like confirmation file, and I think while it's transferring, like, his audio gets very thin and staticky. It's not got a lot of processing power right now.
Are you all right, Riddle?
No, I'm not all right. I think I explained to you that I just had to eject an entire security system from a guild data core. Look, the lucky thing is there's going to be a lot of chaos over there right now, so hopefully no one will notice this particular change amongst all the other nonsense that's going to come out of this.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, I suppose I will deal with that. But were you injured? Do you need assistance?
I need restocking is what I need, and that's on top of the payment that we haven't talked about yet.
Well, I appreciate what you've done. Of course, I am always willing to pay fairly, and if you have needs, then I will try to fulfill them.
When can we meet? This is something I want to talk about in person.
You come to my office immediately. I can send a car.
Good. He'll disconnect.
With that report, this is all going really foobar.
You want to try and figure out what's going on behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think I would like to do that.
That feels like lift the veil.
All righty. All right. Let's see. I think I'm a little worried. I think I'm afraid. I think I'll use fear.
Let's have you roll.
Can I use my interface encrypted and intercepting?
Absolutely. Yeah. Mark that to give yourself +1 forward.
All right. That's a 10.
That is a 10. So you kind of trawl through your networks until you contact someone in the guild who owes you some basic favors, who works on the legal side of things. And you kind of say, hey, what's going on with the music industry today? And I'm seeing this and that. And I think he says, oh, shit, yeah. Do you know what Codec 63 is?
Do I?
You're like, no.
No.
So about 4 years ago, Codec 63 came out as a high-quality, lossless, multi-channel spatial audio encoding format with a lot of bells and whistles. High-end, being used in a lot of recording, and also like remastering of things. It could combo video, audio, but primarily music side. Okay.
Mhm.
Like that's where it really had that. turns out about a year ago that there were some legal issues with Codex 63 in terms of its creation and its manifestation and so on. Just last week, there was a decision, very minor, handed down about Codex 63 in a decision of the claimants. And one of the things that it does is it changes the ownership and control rights, potentially, of anything that was recorded using Codex 63. There is a war in the music industry right now. Whole guilds are moving. This is the new battlefield. Like I would say about half our legal team is tasked at this. It's not part of your usual portfolio, so you probably haven't gotten wind of it, but people are dying over this. Like everybody is locked down, trying to get accesses, and it's an absolute mess. How did you get involved on this?
I'm involved in that Onyx and my target and Ale issue that's blown up in our face.
Okay, and now here is what you're going to get for the 10 plus.
Okay.
He says, I will tell you that if somebody sent you to do that, you can finish that contract and get paid. Or you can probably get your investment back, because they shouldn't have done that. That's an off the books request they did, that whole line there. Now, mind you, they probably covered their tracks, but it's your choice. You can finish the job, get the extra payout, and such, or you can get your money back and bank some info for a future date.
So whoever stuck me on that stuck me on something that I was meant to fail.
No, I think they stuck you on that because they thought that you could do it, and they wanted to get their money while the money was getting good outside of the usual chain of command.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If you've been set up to fail, there are a number of other places they could have sent you to that would put you right in the crosshairs of this war.
I appreciate it.
He says, here's the thing is, singers are getting whacked right now because they're more valuable dead than alive.
It's a dirty pool. All right. I appreciate this. Let's keep this between you and I.
I'm erasing this from my cyber brain even as we speak.
I owe you one.
Yeah. But I won't remember it. And then he's gone.
Good. I won't put it down on my sheet.
Does that seem like a fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Claudio. Claudio.
Let's check in with Heller Marley. Maybe I wonder if we might be able to get you to cross paths with Riddle, Gabriel at this point.
Yeah, I think I tell Marley you need a good place to sleep. Let's see if Gabriel can let you use that apartment, and we can tell him about what you think is going on with that boss thing and with that company thing, and we can see if maybe we can, I don't know, make some extra from that. because you kind of could use those pennies back, you know?
Yeah,
That's what my mom
Yeah,
used to
and-
call them, pennies. Let's do it.
pennies.
Yeah.
Pennies. That's. I don't know. I think I've heard that somewhere a long time ago.
It's weird. Why would you name it after a girl? But anyway, let's
Oh.
go. So,
Maybe there was a picture of a girl in it
I don't
named
know.
Penny.
Yeah, coins used to be like that, didn't they?
Yeah.
We have very vague things that you saw like a few times when you were in school, right?
So Gabriel, you will get like a group call from Heller and Marley.
Like, hey, Gabriel, Marley kind of was looking into something around that factory, and
They,
I'm sorry, that's Sherry forgetting.
yes.
They got kind of banged up, but we have some great information.
Oh. Well,
I was hoping we could use the apartment.
absolutely. Of course.
Okay, we're right outside.
Oh, well, I'm meeting up with Riddle shortly.
She come here. You can have soda.
Yes, I know. It's my apartment. Yes.
Riddle might be a good person to talk to about this too.
Oh, good point.
I will leave word that you will be arriving.
Okay.
And I will shoot a message to Riddle and the driver that's picking him up to the change of location.
Driver changes course, changes direction, changes speed. Riddle, I'm sure there's nothing unusual about that. You've been told you're going to a new destination, a secondary location. You're being
It's
taken
probably
to.
fine. It's always safe to follow a taxi driver to a second location.
Absolutely.
And I will go up to the roof and catch a helicopter over to
Absolutely.
the apartment.
Absolutely. It's just so much more efficient this way
Exactly.
to take this chopper 8 minutes across town. So so Heller, Marley, you're back at this apartment again. Very nice, well appointed. It's been cleaned since you were here last.
It'll need to be cleaned again.
Everything has been restocked very carefully. And I imagine that Riddle arrives about the time that you hear the sound of the whoomp, whoomp, whoomp of the chopper settling on the roof.
Yeah, and I think that I very much like, I had no idea you lived here. I mean, it really just looks like, one of those magazine places, right?
Oh, I don't
Where they
live
take
here.
pictures.
It's
Oh.
just, it is my apartment. It is a place I use. I don't live here. No.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, yeah, I don't invite you to where I live.
I was concerned they're because
Good
I had
idea.
stolen all that soap.
I get into the shower. Where's my soap gone?
I'm sure you come in and like we both have, big cups of all of the kinds of soda.
and whatever carry-alls or messenger bags or purses you have are stuffed with
Stuff with things, yeah. Look, even this like dish liquid tastes not like, smells great though. How can something smell so good and taste so bad?
So the four of you can sit the couches around the sort of low table, holographic display, all of that.
Marley, you look hurt.
Yeah, you look really terrible. Did Gabriel screw you over on a job too?
I did not screw you over.
No, this was some independent research, but it did pertain to our job.
Do you need medical assistance? Should I get someone to tend to
No,
you?
I just came from there.
All right.
it's knitting together again. It said it'll take a little while, but
You've been looking further into the job we completed?
yeah. It I mean, you aren't. That was pretty weird. That was worth looking into. It seemed
No, it had literally left my mind, and I hoped I didn't have to think about it any further.
ah
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, I'm sure any information, however, will be valuable. Please, I'm sorry. What have you discovered?
well, the people who blew up the building, and I, like basically send that whatever, veil version of a Google Maps pin. I found them here. This building, this is not a big corporation. This is a little building in the middle of nothing. We think that it was probably a disgruntled former employees, a former rival. It's not a big group, but they are paranoid enough to have somebody on the roof with a gun.
Mm.
Did you see any more sign of the doll bots?
No, I didn't get into the building.
Is that what we're calling them? Doll bots?
It's either
It's a
that or
good name.
corpsetrosity.
I've been calling them corpse bots, but they're not real bodies, so doll
Yeah.
bots. It's good. It's a good word.
And well, I never did, like, I have that thing that part of it that I took out from one of them.
Mhm.
Can I do a things talk with that? Since you pull it out of my bag, because I still had it, no one asked for the one I carved out.
Yeah, let's
Things speak.
think
Excuse me.
speak.
Yeah,
What do you want to roll that with?
that's a good question. I think
That's a great move.
Yeah.
it is.
And
a
after
fun
that, I
move.
have a question for Patrick once we've resolved that move.
I think in a lot of ways, this is like one of the things I'm good at. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have this thing, so I can help out. So I'm gonna use power. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I will just uncheck one of the fears and so I'm rolling and I'm adding 1 to it.
Okay.
So that's a 9.
That is a 9. So you get 2 questions.
Okay. Who made this, or what has been done near this?
So one of the things that strikes you is that the body is significantly independent of that cyber brain. And this was clearly made, and it's a little imprecise. Like you're kind of looking at this and a feeling of it. It's almost like the instructions for how to make it were like slightly garbled or secondhand or inexact. There's something about that, like that whoever made this maybe didn't have a full sense of exactly how to make this.
That changes some things, I guess. Now, see, here's the thing is you just told me that and I go, so now I can't help myself. My first question is what's wrong with it and how can I fix it?
I think that whoever made this maybe like didn't know exactly what they were making, but were also trying to be like to apply some safety measures. Like, we're going to make this thing, we don't know what it's going to be, like, and maybe we put some limitations on it in terms of the density of the nerve structures and the setup of things, and the muscle fibers and so on. And you would really like to get a hold of the whatever multiphasic 3D printing program was used to make this thing. Because if you could actually print what it was supposed to print completely, that'd be pretty amazing. The prosthetic potential for you would be extraordinary.
Well, that stuff's kind of disgusting, but I guess it'd be a starting point. And I'll say there has to be some printer instructions, something there that they pulled this from, and they put a bunch of limitations on it, so it's not acting the way it should have. And I don't think they knew entirely what they were doing. It's a sort of secondhand copy of something they found. They might not have understood what it was.
Heller, I have a working model of the digital neural architecture that was built in these things. Maybe between that and the physical structure, we could reverse engineer something about it?
Yes.
You would still need the 3D printing program because the mind and the body are completely different objects.
Okay. So it'd be another take in there. And sort of turn to Gabriel, go, is this worth anything to you?
I have to say that I have a few problems on my plate. I can't say for sure if it would be something the guild would be interested in. I am more than happy to help if I can, but I just don't know if this is something. I just don't know if this is something that Dionysus or Diogenes is going to be bankrolling off the top and kind of pulling out. I'm flagging I wouldn't mind obligation pull on this. Because
sure.
I don't see where, I'm putting myself out doing this one.
Okay. Yeah, and I think I do have obligation on you, don't I?
Oh, you do.
I have two of them.
Yes, everybody has obligation on me.
And I'll sort of stop and I'll say, oh, come on, Gabriel. And for Heller, he will be sort of subtle about all the times he's come through for you. Just use a few key phrases and say,
I'm sorry, what was that?
He goes, it would be really helpful. We just need a little backup.
All right. And you're leading our
I'm leaning on you.
Okay.
Yeah, with
So-
the obligation.
That's
That's a move.
So
right?
let's look at the
Sway?
that's when you now. Hey, I want to tell you. So the lean on is for NPCs. Okay. For you, you have a choice, Tyler, about this. You can either accept this, and if you complete it, then you're going to get an XP and you're going to clear that debt. Otherwise, we go to PvP.
Okay.
Yeah. Most the
Is
sort of the
that
debt
written
moves.
down anywhere?
Yeah, that's under
Other moves, I believe.
yeah. Lean on is just used for NPCs. Refute is just used for NPCs. And then PvP. And there's some notes on that more fully explained in the working doc.
Mm. Okay.
Gotcha. Because I had been looking through obligation stuff, and at least here in the Character Keeper, there wasn't any way to use it on PCs.
Yeah, no, it's you offer it, and the reward is XP, and you clear that debt.
Okay.
And otherwise we go to that PvP move for that.
Heller, right? Look, you all have always been of great service. Marley, you've already been injured. Heller, this clearly means something significant to you, and you seem intrigued as well, Riddle. I'll go out on a limb. I'll do what I can, and let's do it. Who knows? It may be the windfall we need.
Could be.
If you're afraid that you don't have the influence to pull off this sort of thing, all we really need are some resources. Heller and I have the expertise that we need right here.
I know that you don't often do negotiations, but once you've already gotten what you want, it is rarely a good idea to insult the person giving it to you.
I'm sorry if the truth offends you that much.
I will back you as best I can.
Thank you. I mean, we got to figure it out, but I think we might have to take another ride in there.
The facility's done. You mean the place where Marley found?
Yeah, they probably have the stuff, don't they?
If there's anything left, they would have taken it.
All right. We can do some digging, perhaps find out who it is that owns the building or who it's leased to. We could find out perhaps some access and maybe do an insertion.
Yes, that sounds awful. Let's try it.
Lowell, does this, as we sit here and begin discussing,
Strategize is exactly what you're doing here.
Yay! So, I'm going to roll with power because I've got my crew. I'm feeling like this is me having decided to fully commit. I'm going with power. By fear. I don't think there's anything I've got that's going to help with that particularly. So, rolling. That's a 9. Anybody feel like helping?
Yeah, can we help at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants
Y'all
to
talking.
roll that?
This is
See, I
the
don't
other,
know how-
the one place where I did see that obligations can come in for PCs.
Yeah.
Isn't there a thing about 10 plussing?
So if someone has obligation on you and you help them, they can burn that obligation to give you a 10 plus on the help.
The sad thing is I only have obligation on one person.
Who was that?
Wait, is it?
Is it no?
It's Riddle. That
Riddle.
would be funny, wouldn't it? It's dumb.
But you can, Marley, do you want to roll help?
Sure. I'm trying to think of how I would help. I guess, maybe I noticed some detail about this building, or yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense. You're the one who got eyes on it.
Yeah. Roll with this. Think. Okay. Oh, I'm still spiked on fear.
Yep.
Actually, the thought of going back to this building is making me kind of nervous. So
That seems appropriate.
I'm trying to hide that, but yeah, it's definitely like yeah, they just shot me there.
So clear another tick and roll with a +0.
Oh, I failed so bad. Oh, that should have been +0. I failed even worse.
Oh. Let me think here. I think you've been sitting here listening to this, Marley, and as this conversation has gone on, like you've had some weird like distortions, and I think there's a moment towards the end when you kind of are all talking that you hear this click click chunk in your ear, as you feel like something like the mud or the exposure, whatever, finally wormed its way, and you feel your cyber ear go out,
Oh, yep.
and you're like, suddenly you're deaf in
Uh-huh.
one of your ears, and you're kind of hearing this weird kind of crackling hum of fluid moving around in there.
That sounds unpleasant.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm
I've had both my eardrums rupture,
myself
so I
in.
know exactly what this is. So
Yeah.
uh,
Ow.
Are you
I
all
don't know
right?
what's happening. No, my ears. I can still hear from one ear, but I don't know what's wrong with the other. I mean, I was underwater for a while. That's probably what's wrong with the other.
Are you sure you wouldn't like one of my physicians to look at you?
You have
I
a
mean, I don't think
physician?
Of course.
wait,
I
like you
kinda look
have
at- Yeah, I know. I look at Marley. You should have one of his physicians. Better than Krabby Dan.
Krabby Dan? Is that
I'm
why
adding
you were
Krabby Dan to the
underwater?
NPC tab.
thank you, fair enough. So it will take some time, and it will take a credit to get your ear repaired.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. So after I've gotten over my like confusion about, wait, what do you mean one of your physicians? Like you have physicians work for you specifically?
Well, not just me, but yes.
Yeah, that sounds. I really don't want to deal with Krabby Dan again.
I will make sure
That
an
hurt.
appointment is made immediately if they will see you once this meeting is complete.
so Gabriel, are you paying for the repairs to Marley's ear?
Hell no, they got more money than I do.
Okay.
Do at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I paid them a lot.
Yeah.
And besides, you have to pay for the repairs to my immersion suit.
Right, I've got to pay somebody else. I'm a very poor man living in the lap of luxury.
Yes, we look around your high-end luxury apartment that you don't even bother to live in.
Yeah.
You do, with the strategize, get 2 hold to use for later.
Yep, I added it to the up there with the move.
Okay. The question I had for Riddle that I kind of put off here for a bit is, we kind of can see how Marley's fear spike has kind of been reflected in reactions and so on. What do we see that tells us about your power spike?
I've been trying to play out some of it, but I think it's where like Riddle is very imperiously like stepping in and saying, no, we're gonna do this, you're gonna give me that. Like obviously Heller and I can work up this completely unknown cybernetics here. Like he's just even more than normal, he is stepping in and like talking first and talking over people.
Nice. I think that helps set the stage.
I like that Riddle Blue's certainty is like convinced Heller that this is going to be good, so he's nodding along, but he's kind of got a confused look on his face, even though, okay, yeah, it's going to be great.
And he's the expert on this, so if
Yeah.
he's confident, he must
He's,
be.
he's the expert on that half. It must be super simple. That means I can figure out my half.
Yeah, he's probably got some trick to explain to you, and then it'll all make perfect sense. You'll just move forward together.
Right. He probably just knows some calculus, and I just need to, see the numbers.
So, Gabriel, is this
Yes.
insertion that you're going to do you think it's like a close flyby drop to the roof, or is it that you found like an alternate underground entryway?
I'm gonna add, do we think it's worthwhile maybe doing an analyze first to see what's there, or have we really had Marley kind of give us the rundown already?
No, we can do an assess
Assess, sorry.
on that, and we can kind of read that as your approach roll in some ways.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Knowing a little more rather than just landing on top.
Then would you like to roll that? Would you like to have somebody else roll that?
I'll bow to a more tactical mind,
Okay.
perhaps, than me.
Heller? You're muted. Oh, Marley, don't forget
Sure.
to mark XP.
Okay.
And then I could kind of be there and support to add resources if you need them.
Okay. Well, I do have, my Omni tool does allow me to take a +1 hold when I assess a system. So I could be able to look at what kind of system they've got set up in that building for like information and scanning and those kinds of things for looking for a weakness on it. Does that make sense?
That sounds great.
Okay, so that gives me another additional hold to my analysis. And then let's see here. I guess I'll use power because I'm using my Omni tool.
Okay.
So that gives me a +2. And that gives me 10.
Gives you a 10. So building fairly isolated. It's a kind of a standalone. The buildings next to them have gone down. Not a great part of town. 5 stories. There is on the roof some kind of craft that's got a tarp over it. You're guessing from the heat sigs and stuff, maybe 6 people. They do have a security system. They have put those blackout windows, the one way, so it looks like it's black from the outside, but they can see out, kind of thing. And there is somebody up on the roof with a cyber-linked rifle. That's the basic info. Now you get 2 hold to ask questions.
Excellent. And this is a basic move.
Or reveal detail. This is assess.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to reveal a detail.
Okay.
This place is underwater. And it's cut off from the other buildings and stuff. So they're actually running on generated power there, which means that if we attack that, they're down.
Okay. So yeah, you can identify that midway up the building, there is a generator that's providing the power.
Okay, excellent. Let's see here. And then
Can I ask, is the +1 forward to act on the information? That's a choice rather than a fiat, right?
So what she actually gets, what Heller actually gets, he gets is an additional hold. So he actually has 3 hold on this assess.
Right, but I see down at is that a choice, when acting on the +1, when acting on the information, that's not just a fiat of the.
No, it is a
agency.
choice. You
It's
make
a
that
choice.
pick.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
That's neat.
Really good question.
So I get 3.
You get 3
choices?
hold because
Okay,
of your
3
bonus
hold.
from your Omni tool.
Okay, so let's see here. We can save one of the +1s for someone, whoever's going to take out that thing, and I think what I'm going to ask is what entry is gonna let us in there, like essentially the furthest from where they're set up at.
Ground level, camouflage flotation, go up to the building, a quick like grapple climb up to that floor, hit the wall that has that generator on it, with explosive or something else, and take that out, and their security will be down, and then you've just got some people running around in the dark.
Okay. So like dark goggles would be helpful for us then, essentially, if we
Yeah.
don't have that already. Okay, so dark. Okay, so I think we kind of know what we need to do. It sounds like a lot. These things we've
I
done
think
before.
a camouflaged vehicle and the kind of grapple you'll need, like a credit to cover that sort of temporary use thing. Who wants
Together?
to pay? Yeah, both of them together.
My little sister kind of cleaned me out, but it could be good.
I can come across with the cred for that, I suppose.
Gabriel, you're the best.
I know someone. And you're just taking it from Riddle's pay anyway.
Yeah.
Excuse you?
And Gabriel, I think you have gone along with this, so you can clear that debt and you can mark that XP.
Oh, nice. I'm up
So
to
Heller
6.
mark that cleared as well.
I did. I'm already marked it as 0.
Okay.
I
Let's
was
take our
Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, let's take our second bio break. Let's take 5 here, just because we got a good break point, and then we're gonna cut in on mission. Sound good? Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm reading that assess as the approach roll. So get the materials, get the goods. You arrive on site. There's that sort of shallow water. Able to get some real basic one-use camo fabric that will blend with this, that you can sail the 4 of you over to the building across this muddy swamp. I think you maybe see a gator in the distance, but they don't approach. I think you get up to the wall of the building, get this settled against there. I think you've got a pneumatic launcher for the lines. They are quiet and essentially hit with plascrete glue. They stick into place almost instantly. And then you're going to plant the explosives and blast it. Planting explosives is our risk roll. Someone needs to do that to see how well that goes off. So who is the person who is doing that, essentially riding the line up, setting the explosive in place, and presumably writing back down before it goes off?
I feel like that's either got to be Heller or Marley.
Would you like to do it? If not,
Sure.
I will do it.
I will do it.
Okay. Marley, you're still operating under fear.
And I think that's still accurate.
Yes.
Not only is this the building I was shot at, but like now I'm going to sneak into it and plant explosives.
Yeah.
A little
And
nervous.
I do think that Heller can help afterwards. But let's have you roll with a +0. Do you want to mark any of your cybernetics to give yourself a +1, Marley?
Yeah.
Your
I
ear
probably
is
do.
out, but
Yes. Actually, where should I mark that? Oh, I mean, I do have camouflage skin, so when I
Yeah.
leave the vehicle, I can just sneak up. Yeah.
so you can roll with a +1
Okay.
and clear one of your spikes. Let's have you roll, and then if we need to, we'll have Heller roll an assist.
All right. Oh, I do not need to.
So
That's a 10.
you're up, you're down. You've placed the lines far enough out that when this directed explosive goes off, it blows inward and you still have your lines connected up. So there's a woof, and it's sort of combination, both blowing a hole for you to go through and also kind of EMPing direct, and the security net goes down. You've got this entryway, and boom, you have access. So Heller, are you first in? Okay.
Yes, sorry, just wanted to let the air conditioner stop.
Absolutely.
Start
Then
a bar.
Heller, you get up and you've got a hot target.
Got a hot target.
Yeah, on this level, fairly open area. Somebody's kind of stumbling back, trying to get their visual acuity back, going for a weapon. What do you do?
Let's see here. I think I want to, gosh, I've got, no, I think I'm gonna go for, let me say, gonna try to knock them out first.
Okay.
So,
Roll neutralize.
all right. At this point, I'm going with fear, man.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. These people are alive. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm rolling, adding 2. That's a 12.
That is a 12. So on a 10 plus, you're going to generate 3 hold for your neutralize,
Okay.
and you take no harm. So
Hey.
what does that look like? And then let's have our picks here.
I think that mostly what it looks like is, I have that mechanical arm, and I have good sensory because of my eyes and all that stuff, and I just kind of go in, and I clock them with my arm up against the wall, and I'm like knocking them out.
Okay.
So
What do you want
it's-
for your 3 hold?
Well, I've got to find it. This is under basic moves though, right?
Yep.
I will.
I assume inflict harm to take them out.
Yeah. I will inflict harm to take them out. I will take away, wait, no, or do, yeah, if I'm gonna take them out, does that mean they can't do anything after
So
that?
this person will be taken out with the
Okay.
inflict harm.
All right,
If you want to take away the advantage, you can essentially cut off so that the like these two groups are absolutely split at this point.
that's what I would do, spend
Okay.
the other 2 on that, just
Okay.
sort of bring down their communication between the rest of them.
Yeah. So who is next up? Riddle, Gabriel, and what are you doing? You've got a couple people on a lower level and a couple people up top and a guy on the roof. But the guys on the lower level and the guys in the upper level are like completely cut off from one another. And they've got little in the way of actionable intelligence. They don't know what's happening.
And our primary goal is to find the replicator thing and get it, right? And that's what we're here for.
3D printing software, yeah.
there's an assumption that you've made that that is here. I do not think that has been verified in any way, shape, or form. What you know is that these are the people who attacked the building
Hmm.
and were likely involved in the building previously and the operations there. That is the
Okay.
extent of the knowledge that you have.
So we need more information, and if the thing we're wanting is here, to get it. Okay. All right. Patrick.
Riddle.
Yeah, I want to get my hands on something linked into the communication infrastructure of this building.
Okay. You've already kind of taken that down deliberately. Do you want to bring that back up?
Yeah, basically, I have intercepting on my interface to where I
Sure.
can alter signals.
Okay.
So I want to see if I can link into their communications and start like intentionally misdirecting them, sending the wrong places, that sort of thing.
Okay. Let's have you roll divert.
Nice. Yes, that's very obvious. I was like, what is this? Oh,
What
right.
move
It's
is
the
that?
thing that's
Oh.
called that. So this is with power, because I mean I can
It's-
obviously bring this back up
Yeah.
and coordinate all these groups all at once. It'd be
Roll
fine.
with the zero since you have power spiked.
And I am going to, as my hand closes around a bundle of wiring, I'm going to mark my network nerve endings.
Okay.
So at least I have a +1. That's a 9.
That is a 9. So pick 2.
Moves are on a tab. They become confused or flustered.
Okay.
As I confuse their movements and try and keep them out of where we're intending to go.
Sure.
Oh, I'm so tempted. Yeah, I'm curious. Glean a flaw or weakness. We don't know anything about the people that are here, why or how they're protecting this place.
Oh, look at that micro network of that guy's visual hooked up to that cyber rifle on the roof. The one who's the sniper. He's got a not particularly well secured micronet for doing the spotting from up there. Does that seem like a fair?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and loop that signal into my visual HUD, so even when I let go of this bundle, I'm gonna keep a hold of that view.
So Marley, and we're going to assume that all of you have current information. It's right now it's you and Gabriel to decide kind of what you want to do next. You've got like a downstairs group, there's an upstairs group, and there's the sniper on the roof, all of whom you could get to given your setup pretty easily. What do you want to do, Marley?
Well, it seems like if they had, given that this place is surrounded by water, and is very prone to flooding, if they have any like expensive, highly technical equipment, it's probably not on the lower floors. So I think, yeah, I want to go up to the, not to the roof, but like to the
Okay.
upper floors.
Yeah, I think you can do the line, get in, and you have the opportunity, if you want to do neutralize, to try and take out the two here. Right now, because of the disruption to them, they effectively, are a scale equivalent to the two of them to you.
Okay.
If you want to try and take them out. And again, taking them out can be non-lethal in this case, unless you want to be lethal.
No, I think. No, I don't think I want to be lethal, but
Okay.
yeah, I do want to take them out. Cool. And yeah, I think I'm still scared.
Absolutely. Do you want to use your jamming interface to close them down even further?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that confuses them and makes it harder for them to communicate,
Sure.
which probably interferes with what Riddle is doing to them.
So roll with a +1 then.
Cool. Oh, I knew it had to happen sooner or later. That's a 3.
That is a 3. I think as you are getting yourself up at a position on the upper floor, your comm will go off. And you will hear just a very, very quick message that is there. And let me see if I have a thing. And you hear your brother say, Marley, I need you to call me right away. This is really bad. And then it cuts out.
Wonderful.
We'll come back to you in just a moment. Gabriel, Marley is heading up. They were heading up to take care of that second floor. The snipers on the roof. Riddle has that as it's got it set so somebody could take them out. And there are 2 people on the lower floors. What do you want to do?
I think I'm probably figuring the people on the lower floors will be making their way up. I'm going to try and set a little ambush as they're coming up and try to handle them for they make it.
Roll a neutralize.
All right. Can I use my telescopic low light eyes since we've kind of
Mark that to give yourself a +1, and you still got the strategize.
And strategize my +1 on that. That's a before the roll or after?
You can spend that after the roll.
Thank you. All right then.
Is it now? That's a note I need to make sure is to clarify when you can spend that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think I'm enjoying this. I think being in the thick of things, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to click joy.
Perfect. Mark joy and go ahead and roll.
That's a 10.
That is a 10. Tell me what that looks like when you ambush and take these 2 people out as they're kind of rushing upstairs pell-mell, trying to get themselves coordinated.
I think that I have kind of like slid back into a little alcove. And as the first one comes by, I'm going to step out and with the butt of my blaster, just bash him right in the face. So he stumbles back into the other one. And then following up, I am knees to his chest and landing on the 2 of them.
Boom. And they both fall back down into that water that's in that first floor, that big splash there, and the wind knocked out of them, and they are absolutely out. Heller, what do you do?
Are there still people moving around?
So there's 2 people on the floor above you,
Mhm.
and there's the 1 guy on the roof.
Ooh.
Now, mind you have lines and ropes outside, so you could go on the outside and get to the person on the roof. Marley was supposed to take out the people on the second floor above you, but you
On the
haven't
floor
heard.
above me.
Yeah, they haven't heard Marley. They kind of paused in their action. And
Okay. I think I'm kind of worried about Marley because they've lost a lot of blood already, and I know they're patched up, but they're running at like 60%. So I think I'm gonna head up and see if I can assist Marley in this situation.
Okay. So you want to rush up? You're going to find yourself in the middle of them.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
You can do neutralize.
I will.
But Marley is on scene and can help.
Okay. All right, let's try it. So I'm like, yeah, and I think this is absolutely motivated out of fear. I was fear for Marley, and then when I get here, the big So let's see here. Okay, so I'm rolling, I'm adding 2. So it gives me a 7.
That gives you a 7. So on a 7 with neutralize, you generate 2 hold and you're going to take harm.
Okay, so I take harm.
You get to pick 2 things there.
I am going to deal harm. Does that take them out?
They'll take out one of the 2.
I'll-
If you do inflict harm again, and it'll take the other one out.
I'll do that.
Okay. What does that look like?
Let me check a thing real quick. So I think the thing is I have close jamming. And so essentially what I come up is I come up in there and I do the close jam so that their stuff goes silent. And sort of distracts them where they sort of like look to do a visual check for each other. And that's when I come in and I'm able to hit one of them with the door, like with the door as I come through, and then shoulder the other one into the wall and kind of crack their head against the wall. I mean, it's not like good looking, but it works. I just use a bit of distraction
There is that moment though, when you hit that second person, that you hear the boom as their shotgun catches you midsection for 3 harm.
Ouch. Okay. Well,
Do you have armor?
I do have at least 1 point of armor. Yes, I have 1 point of armor.
Then you may mark that armor to reduce that harm by 2.
I will do that. So-
Essentially, it knocks you on your ass.
Ouch. I say that. I don't even think about it.
Riddle, what are you doing? That sniper is still up on the roof and you're in his eyesight.
Am I now?
Yeah, you've got all control of his vision right now.
Oh, he's not as in he's got me sighted right now.
I know. I was
Okay.
I wanted to make you nervous there. That's why I said it that way.
I was like, oh, I need to change my plans.
You're in his crosshairs right now.
No, I feel like the others are running around making a lot of noise, which generally means they're beating things up, so they probably got all that handled.
Yeah.
So I think I need to start digging into the databanks here to
What
figure out.
databanks?
Well, I mean, obviously there's the information stored here that we're coming for. The systems.
It's a bunch of guys with
This
guns
building?
and ammo here.
Gabriel,
Yes, what?
there's no fucking data stores here. There's barely computing systems here.
What point is what point would be the place? Marley,
There's not even an inventory file. What is happening? What is this building?
Marley, what have you gotten us into?
I don't know. I don't know. There's just a bunch of people with guns. It's I don't see.
Riddle, your vision sees this guy moving. He's now going to the stairs. He's got his sniper rifle and he's about to move down to that floor that Marley and Heller are on.
Are there other targets up there still?
That's the only person who's left. He doesn't know what's going on down
Gotcha.
below. He's going to go down and snipe some people.
Fine, I'll just take care of everything myself, I guess. And I'm going to reach back up the connection to his scope and wrench it out of alignment by like 30 degrees.
Okay. Do you want to do that as the kick?
I was thinking of reconfiguring.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like-
I can read that too. Yeah, let's do that. Roll with power at 0.
Yes, there's a lot of that. I think what I take away is this concealing darkness. Like, I think lights start to flash back on as I'm pulling power in to run this program.
Absolutely.
This thing. No more stuff to spend. It's just that. So do some dice. It's a healthy 4. It's doubles, so there's that.
You are up in his brain, in his cyber, when his cortex bomb goes off.
Oh shit! What?
Boom. And you'll feel his head explode, and you feel it. And you're going to take 2 harm.
I'm going to, as that starts happening, when we were back planning, I had given you a stabilizer. I could tell that you were glitching and weird. It's something from R&D. Just hang on to it. It'll help stabilize what you have going on here. And as that goes off, the little disc there kind of, and you see it kind of overload as it absorbs the damage.
Yeah, feel that nerve burst, and then poof, kind of shuts down your senses for a moment.
Ooh.
And then when you come clear, that guy's, you're not in that guy's system, so you don't take any harm.
Cool. I mean, I think it's still wildly horrifying. I think I was still probably linked in there some while that happened.
You're welcome.
Heller, Marley, you'll see this headless body come tumbling down the stairs.
So I have recording. I'm going to take quick recordings of these, like, so we can identify who these people are afterwards, because I understand that's like going to be the information that we get out of this place, is who are these people. So anything
You've got effectively four people that are alive, and you.
Oh, their heads aren't popping off too?
No.
Okay, good. Awesome. Then we will figure out what's going on with them. Can we find anything in this building of use?
It does feel like they like if you check, they do have corporate installed Cortex bombs, but nobody's firing them off remotely. You don't know what happened, Riddle.
Oh, could it be the jamming?
Oh,
That's what I think.
I mean, it wasn't anything I did, obviously.
Oh, heavens,
obviously.
no.
But we can tell
There's
what
a guy up
corpse
here,
they're
his head
with
just
then,
exploded. I don't know.
right?
I don't know what caused it, but that's probably not a good sign.
Taking the information that Riddle sent, I'm gonna grab one of these guys up out of the water and dropping my blaster down, and it does its big noise sound up, and pointed at his face as I slap him awake. Tell me what's going on here, or I am going to blow your head off.
Please roll ultimatum.
Righty, and I am rolling with power.
And you still have that last strategize hold that you can apply to this if you wish.
All right. That's a 7.
Okay. So, he's like, I don't know who the fuck you guys are. I don't know, if the Apollonians, if the Brotherhood sent you. I don't know what it is, but I don't. What is he? What? Why?
We know that you infiltrated and I'll name that submerged facility.
We destroyed it.
Why?
Because it came out of the water. It just like it was revealed again.
Why did you have to destroy it?
Because that's where the invasion is coming from.
Invasion of what?
The aliens. I'm going to cut the session there.
Wow.
We will continue on with that next time, but that's where we're going to cut for our end line there.
Wow.
I'm not saying it's aliens,
But he was.
but he was. Is that okay? Is that a reasonable
Oh
line
yeah,
to-
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Let's do end of session check through on our various things. Gabriel, of those three things, your entanglement, your drive, your question, I think we definitely hit your question.
I think so too. Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense to me.
And maybe maybe not the entanglement, but definitely the drive. I think we've got 2 XP there for you.
Yeah,
given-
because
Yeah.
it seems like he's involved all up in that mission I have.
Riddle, what about you?
I was pushing towards the thing with Dokuchi with Gabriel, but I don't know if I really got a chance to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I hit my drive, but I do think
Oh yeah, you
a lot
definitely
of
hit your
things
question.
exploded in my face when I got too close to people.
Absolutely, I think that's fair. Marley, what about for you?
Oh, I don't think it was actually ever stated the entanglement. Because I like the idea that this technology could be the way to keep Heller alive without the help of the corporation. But I don't think that
I
like,
actually think
was,
you did, because you made a
did.
deliberate choice to avoid telling Heller about that and kept that
right, yeah.
information from him.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And I mean, the reason I went to that place in the first place was because I thought that the
Yeah.
poison plumes were coming from that facility.
Yeah. I think maybe not your question, but definitely your entanglement and drive. Like, I think that's worth 2
I don't think
XP
the
there.
question is, but cool.
Heller, what about you?
Yeah, I think like essentially he was Johnny on the spot for Marley, wants to help Marley out. I mean, kind of wants to help Marley out anyway, but he's trying to figure out how it is that Marley might be the fail safe, whatever
Okay.
that means. Okay. And definitely went into this because if we can figure out more about what those things are supposed to do, it
Yeah.
might be another clue.
Yeah, I think that feels like a good solid 2 XP there.
Okay. I will take them because I got none.
I would like to do a quick stars and wishes. Can I start with you, Marley?
Yeah, stars for so say there's so many things. Stars for the whole, like Riddle's whole arc, the session, like just kept getting in trouble. And part of that was the dice. Part of it was just like, oh, let's just make Riddle's life worse and worse and worse. But Patrick, your reactions to that and just like piling on was great. I can't even, like, I'm not even sure what all the complications involving Riddle are right now, but there's a lot of them. There's a pile of them.
It's messy.
Yeah.
Any wishes?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you okay with us following up on your brother next time, possibly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
And we will have a little more chance to talk with these people and get the full story besides the aliens tagline.
I mean, that's my main wish. Like, what the what the hell?
What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
Find out what's going on. But
Sherry.
Yeah, same. I really like how we're doing things. We're like all interacting and getting, our different, how do you say, keeping the lights on, tasks done, but building the world as we go. It is just really fun to watch people. I mean, Patrick has such a deep sense of what his virtual world is like, and Tyler's sense of the entitlements of the since the employee or guild employee are pretty neat. And then Marley and Heller being so just in this other tier completely, and trying to figure out what their world is like and being so surprised by everything that works for Riddle and Gabriel. I just think it's really fun. And I love all the other stuff. There's a lot of great things, but I just am really enjoying all the world building that's going on just as we go.
Wishes?
I am really looking forward to digging into all these sort of family complications, because Marley's got their brother and I've got my sister and Gabriel's got his stepdad and Riddle has himself, but there's like 3 of them. I don't know if they're twins or what, but it's like the biggest tangle of them all. So it's looking good.
Okay. Tyler.
Oh, massive stars. The dice produced horrible results for Patrick and I early, and you did great complications to really enrich what was going on. As I think I said off air, the idea of when you said artists are more valuable dead than alive, it just hit me so viscerally. And this idea, that's my company and how this is falling out, it was really intense. So I thought that was magnificent. Patrick, you were just great in adversity, and when the highs hit, they were good. It was really nicely done. Marley, I loved the character. Well, Bethany, I loved the Marley character work. The kind of, yes, I'm afraid of what's happened. There's so much that is building up on why I'm afraid here. And so watching you work down the spike was really cool. I mean, it was done so well in character. And that is just excellent. That's so well done. And I'm fascinated by Heller's drives of, just in general, the things that Heller wants to do. He's very interesting and very focused and inquisitive. And that sort of pushes us as a group in a way that we really need. Cause Gabriel is a Mr. Johnson. He's out there giving jobs, but that's not the same as being curious and finding out why.
Mm-hmm.
And Heller really is giving us the drive to find out why. And I think that makes for a way better story than just let's go mission to mission. And I appreciate you doing that. So massive stars. And there are a lot of little things in this system that are popping up that I think are really, really neat. Wishes. I want to see. I want to have Gwen come in. I want to encounter Gwen.
Okay.
I think it's a good time. I think Claudio was trying to use me. I'd like to see, old friend, his daughter, our relationship. I think that's a good moment. And I kind of want to hit. We're doing a quarterly. This next one, I think, will be our midpoint. I wouldn't mind us carving out some time at the end to talk on system and see what we think about it.
That seems more than reasonable. And Patrick.
This was this was super good. I want to throttle the dice page, but I have nothing but good things to say about the story that played out from it. Just a minor star to the way that cybernetics are working now. And Lowell, like I really noticed you this session pushing on like, hey, remember this button's here. Do you want to push that button? And it just like it is gratifying to use your resources in some ways. And so having the cool cybernetics there and being like, oh, I've used it, now it's done the thing, is really cool. And I just like, especially when the dice roller is being mean, it's nice to have the little like comfort animal of little +1s you can pull on to make you feel better, even if it doesn't change things. It's always nice to have those resources to pull on in a game, I think. We've talked about it a couple times, but I want to say again, I'm really enjoying the Codex 63 story. I liked watching Tyler and Lowell, y'all sort of like work out that end of it. I love the way that Gabriel is showing like several different faces and sort of laying out different information to different people as he's finding out more and more about this. The whole like digging into the guild of billboard charting or whatever, the Wikipedia database of all music ever made, was really neat. Bethany, oh shoot, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Where was I? Oh, that's what it was. You started out, and then I've quickly followed up with a spike out, but I really liked just from like the mud covered beginning of things, and then even going through a like calming down, but then immediately back into the fire. The very like shell shocked sort of nature that you played for Marley of every scene. I was like, should we really be pushing them like this? Like, I think maybe after their shower, they just need some hot tea and a blanket and maybe someone to talk this through with. But we just kept pushing further and further. And Marley was like, yeah, I'll carry the explosives. We'll go back into the place. It's fine. I'm not massively traumatized because they just shot me. It's fine. And Sherry, I really enjoyed seeing you pull out the thing speak move. I think it is a super cool move. And I love the like bad idea bears vibe of Heller and Riddle being like, well, I have this piece. Well, I have this piece. Let's push them together. Nothing bad can happen. And just specifically your comment of Heller looked at Riddle being very confident and obviously like wanting to move forward with it, and just assuming like he must know what he's doing. Let's do it. Wishes I definitely want to push forward on that. Getting more of that creepy bad idea with the dollbot stuff pushed forward. And like playing out more of this power spike out, which I think is mostly being like focused at Gabriel. This sort of power struggle, what can we get out of each other thing that's happening between them. I sort of want to push on that further, especially since Gabriel, I think, is building up more and more doubts about this job that sort of pushed all this off.
I think that's very fair. I'm glad that the cybernetics are working in a way, because that's always been for me one of the disappointments of the Veil is, yeah, we've got all this stuff on our sheet, but it doesn't often come up into play. We have to go and remember the fictional positioning and stuff. I think it's always good to have like a little, okay, I can use this for something. I think that's great. A couple of things we noticed today. I want to take a look at the obligation and PC stuff. We had some discussion about that. I want to make sure that that's working as intended, and look at making a note for that in the character keeper about how the PC stuff example. If there's some discussion of that in the main sheet, but some of that needs to come onto this. I need to clarify that strategized spend can be spent after the roll. That's another detail there. Those are a couple of things, but yeah, we'll try and carve out some time at the end of next session to like the last 30 minutes to go, okay, let's look at where friction is, what we haven't touched, what we think is working at that point.
Can I add a tiny wish that I never want to hamstring a GM, especially one who I love to watch go like you.
Right.
But I don't want us to see like a complication whirlwind spinning out. I'd like for us to be able to deal with all of this we have on our table without getting a whole spiral of more complications.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's very fair to say, because it is a setup right now that we've got a couple of different things happening in different directions. And I should put more stuff on those plates rather than putting new plates spinning. I think that's a fair request to make. Thank you all very much. I'm going to stop the recording. There.